Hello dear readers, it's Tuesday, February 9th, Tidbit Tuesday again. Want to take a second to wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year. It is the year of the monkey, so hopefully it will be prosperous and happy for many. A little bit of an update. I've been hard at work on Rahasya and have kind of missed a few of my daily posts, for which I apologize, but when the groove hits, I tend to stick with it, so hopefully that means if the groove keeps hitting, the book will be done eventually. Still making progress. I've crossed over the 400-page mark, but that doesn't really mean anything because it doesn't include your chapter breaks and all that, so that's just a rough draft, and who knows how it'll end up. Something new for this Tidbit Tuesday, I have my cameraman, my husband, behind the camera, doing something of an interview of questions that have been frequently asked or compiled or just randomly sent, and I thought I would answer them, so let's get started.
Alright. What was the first instance that you can remember that made you want to pick up the pen for the very first time?
Escapism. Wanting to escape, wanting to build my own world and live in it.
Alright, so what has made you stick with it for these last few years?
I love it. It's an incredible high. Writing is sometimes difficult, but when you accomplish it and you finish something and you can go back and read it and enjoy it, is quite the high.
Are you a reader yourself?
Oh yes.
What kind of books do you enjoy?
Mostly manga or shonen or yoi manga, or those types, and of course fantasy books.
For those that don't know it, what is a manga? I mean, is it
a Japanese version of comic books?
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you have a favorite author?
Author-wise, would definitely have to be Lewis Carroll, Edgar Allan Poe, Edward Gorey, and Dr. Seuss.
I notice those are all, pardon the expression, deceased authors. Do you have any living favorite authors?
Yes. Probably most specifically Lorna Freeman and Jennifer Fallon.
And what do they write, for those that aren't familiar?
Lorna Freeman writes the Borderland novel series, and Jennifer Fallon, she's written the Hithroom Chronicles and the Demon Child trilogy.
Fantastic. Alright. Who is your number one fan?
How would I know? I'm not my fan.
We'll get back to that one. Here's a little one. What's your favorite spectator sport and why?
Football.
Football.
Just because it's exciting.
Did you watch the Super Bowl, or?
I don't like American football. I like real football where feet are involved.
Feet. Oh, you're talking like Americans will call soccer.
Football.
Ah, all right. Well, I guess we'll move along on that one. What are your favorite hobbies?
Walking, watching anime, and playing video games.
Video games. The same genre that you write, or?
Yeah, I like fantasy RPGs.
Do you have a favorite?
My most favorite would probably have to be Dungeon Siege, which I can no longer play on my computer because my system's a lot newer than the game. But since PlayStation is my favorite platform, I would probably have to say Champions of Nora.
I hear that you are an activist. Exactly what does activist mean in your life?
Fighting and supporting animal and human rights, working for environmentalism and conservation, and there's particularly water conservation, but getting everything fixed that keeps getting destroyed.
That's understandable. Alright, here's the inevitable. Where would you like to see yourself in the next couple of years?
Just writing full-time instead of holding down 3 jobs at once.
Yeah, I can see where that would make it a little easier.
It makes it harder to write that way.
Yeah. And finally, is there anything else that you would like to share with your potential and current readers?
Probably hang in there. I really am working on the 3rd book of the Tome series. I know a lot of people have been quite upset with the little hiatus that I put it on. Hopefully I will get it released at the end of this year. I'm also working on several side projects because that helps me with the flow of my writing. When I get tangled up into something, working on something else helps me to break it up and come at it from a different angle. One of them is a side story inspired by not even really a secondary character, more of a background character in Rahasia. I also have my horror story project, which I'm still working on, which is Asylum Ghost. Obviously about an insane asylum and a ghost. That one's going along a little bit slower because that one's drawn from actual historical information about the Pontiac Insane Asylum at the beginning of the 19th century. So that one's a little bit more difficult to write because it requires a lot of research. But those are my two primary side projects I'm also working on.
Well, thank you, AJ. That's all I have for you today.
And I don't think I have anything else to add, so I will see you next week.